Hey guys, this is Kevin from JazzSam.com. JazzSam.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make this video so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you want to know the price of the watch, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch from JazzSam.com once in a while. So today we're going to be reviewing two Rolex watches recently released. Here on my left is the Rolex Pepsi GMT, reference number 126710 versus the Sea-Dweller that was recently released at the Baselworld 2019 show. This is the two-tone Sea-Dweller in the 43mm. This is the model number 126603. We'll go over the dials, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movements towards the end of the video. So jumping right into the dials, you can see they basically have the same dial structure, which is the maxi dial, which has the circular hour markers with indices for the 6, 9, and triangular 12 for the 12 o'clock position. However, they're fashioned in different golds. The Pepsi fashions the hour markers, Mercedes hands hour, and the minute hand in 18 karat white gold, whereas the Rolex Sea-Dweller fashions them in a 18 karat yellow gold instead. Date 1 out the same position, 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal for magnification, easier viewing of that date. And we also have the basic text of the Rolex with the crown logo on top of the Rolex name with the Oyster Perpetual date name right underneath that as well. The only minor differences is that the Sea-Dweller name is in a glinted coloration, whereas the GMT-Master II name, the Pepsi, is just in the simple white text on that black background. Besides that, even the Swiss-made text at the 6 o'clock position are both the updated versions, which has the Rolex crown logo in between that Swiss-made. The other difference is that the GMT hand, the GMT has the additional the GMT hand, which you can see here on the red highlight against that black background, and with the triangular tipped marker. And that's for the tracking of additional time zone, as the GMT-Master II that's the function of the GMT-Master II, is to be able to track additional time zones via the additional hour hand and also the bezel as well. The dial colors, the black glossy dials are the only dial colors that these watches come in, so you only have the choice of the black dial for both of these watches. Moving on to the bezel now, both are ceramic bezels, black ceramic for the Sea-Dweller, the Pepsi GMT being the Pepsi colors, which are the undertone of red and blue. So from the 6 to the 18 we have the red underneath, and then 18 to the 6 we have that blue, which gives it its nickname, the Pepsi GMT. Specifically, this watch is a throwback to its previous predecessor, which is the GMT from 1955, which did have that same coloration of that blue and red, but also the Jubilee style bracelet as well. So it's sort of a reincarnation of its previous model, whereas the Sea-Dweller, it's unique in its own way, being one of the first Sea-Dwellers being in a two-tone yellow gold coloration, and you can even see that down to the numerals on the bezel as well. You can see from the 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 in the Arabic numerals all the way to the 60 and graduations, and the large fat indices as well, having dusted with that 18 karat yellow gold. Even the riveted edges of the bezel are in 18 karat yellow gold as well. The bezel is stainless steel on the Pepsi, with platinum dusted on the numerals, the even numerals from the 2, 4, 6, and odd numerals of the dotted indices in between each even numeral all the way up to the 22, and the triangular marker. So platinum dusting for the Pepsi, yellow gold for the Sea-Dweller, and the dusting of those metals actually help it stand out against the background of the bezel colors to help it more legible and much easier to read. The bezel functions are used differently. The GMT-Master II can shift bidirectionally, as you can see, it can shift both ways, and that's used to track an additional time zone, whereas the Sea-Dweller can only shift to the left counterclockwise, and that's used to track elapsed time. As you can see, as I try to shift it clockwise, it does not shift that way. The elapsed time is tracked by shifting the peridot to the minute hand. You can track the elapsed time from there. As this is a diver's watch, you can use it to track, the remainder of the oxygen tank levels. Of course, being unidirectional is a safety precaution, as you don't want to accidentally bump that bezel and give a false sense of reading of the elapsed time. Moving on to the case rather. The case is a 40mm case size for the Gmt-Master II. So from an index finger to my thumb here, it's 40mm in diameter, which is the Sea-Dweller is now updated. Previously used to be a 40mm, now is a 43mm. So from an index finger to my thumb here, that's 43mm in diameter. We're going to be looking at two different thicknesses and the case sizing. The Gmt-Master II is going to be thinner, as it just has the complication of just the additional hour hand and such. The additional hour hand and the quick hour jump system, so it is a little bit larger than the normal sizing of a sports piece, but not much larger, whereas the Sea-Dweller is much larger. It's in between, right in between something like a Submariner and the deep sea. The reason for its thickness is to protect the casing and movement inside, and also the addition of the helium escape valve. You can see by this little darker indented circle on the side of the case next to this Alt's high polish. That little circle is called the helium escape valve. So basically, when you do deep sea diving with the Sea-Dweller, as it mentions with the water resistance at the 6 o'clock position here, it's 4,000 feet or 1,220 meters. Deep sea diving, you do have to come up through a depressurization chamber, and that depressurization chamber has a mixture of gases such as helium being one of them, and that can actually get into the watch and actually pop out that crystal due to the pressure of it. So when Rolex invented the helium escape valve, when the watch reaches a certain bar of pressure, the valve automatically opens up via a spring and lets that gas out, therefore protecting your watch. So a very nice feature to have if you're a deep sea diver. Moving on to the other side of the casing, we see the crown logo on the crown itself. There you can see a nice high polish from the crown protectors onwards, but the Pepsi has a stainless steel crown versus the Sea-Dweller having a 18 karat yellow gold crown. Both have the Rolex logo on the crown itself, with the 3-dot NNCs right underneath the crown logo, to show that these watches are using a triple waterproofness system. However, of course, that same, as I mentioned before, the water resistances are different. Once again, I'll mention that the GMT has a 100 meters or 330 feet, whereas the Sea-Dweller, as it is used for deep sea diving, is 4,000 feet or 1,220 meters. I'll go ahead and show you the crown functions now very quickly here. So we're going to go ahead and start with the GMTs. We're going to go ahead and unwind the crown counterclockwise, as shown. And the standard position is where you can wind the watch. About 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get started once more. Pulling the crown out to the next position will allow you to activate the quick hour jump system. As you can see, you can adjust the hour hand very quickly independently of the minute hand, and you'll be able to adjust the date as well. As you can see, 2 full revolutions for a 24-hour period will adjust that date. Pulling the crown out to the next position, I actually did stop the crown right before the 3 o'clock position, or rather the second hand right before the 3 o'clock position, and you can adjust the hands bidirectionally as shown, and also the GMT hand as well to set that additional time zone rather. You press your crown nice and tight in against the case and keep the watch water resistant and the crown nice and protected between the crown protectors there. For the Sea-Dweller functions, we're going to go ahead and unwind once again counterclockwise as shown. In the center position, where you can wind the watch about 15-20 winds clockwise is all you need again, and then pulling crown out to the next position will allow you to adjust the date instantaneously, very quickly and easily as shown. Pulling the crown out to the next position will allow you to adjust the hands bidirectionally. Same thing, stopping in the second hand for precise time setting, such as to an atomic clock online. Press the crown back in, and always nice and tight in against the case. All right, so moving on to the bracelets now. So different style bracelets. The GMT bracelet, as I did mention, is a reincarnation of the previous model, the 1955 version of the Gmt-Master II that had the Pepsi bezel, but now has a Jubilee style bracelet. And you'll be seeing that this is the only modern Rolex now at the moment that has the Jubilee style bracelet. So it's very unique in its own way. Taking that dress style bracelet and putting it on a sports piece works very nicely. We have the 5-piece links with the satin finish on the outer of the 5-piece links with the high polish down the center of the 3 3-piece links. And then we have the Oyster style bracelet on the Sea-Dweller with the two-tone coloration. So the 18-karat yellow gold straight down the middle, very beautiful and nicely high polished with the contrast of the satin finish on the outer edges as well. Some people don't really necessarily agree that the Sea-Dweller, a diver's watch, should be diver's sports piece, should be in 18-karat yellow gold, but we had the Submariner in a two-tone yellow gold as well, the 116613. And there are people out there that do have larger wrists that did want to wear something larger than that Submariner, the 40 millimeters, and still have a nice flashiness to it. And this is Rolex's answer. So we have this beautiful two-tone Sea-Dweller now. You can see bracelet nicely tapered from the first link to backwards. The clasp has a difference in size, and there's a reason for that, but I wanted to mention the nice high polish patterning that keeps throughout even the clasp itself. The clasp itself are safety folding Oyster clasp. We're going to go ahead and show that by opening up the safety locks here, and it opens up to reveal these nicely high polished clasp blades. The clasp blades have a Rolex name embossed on there very beautifully. So the difference between the two clasp is actually just a simple feature. So Gmt-Master has what's called the Easy Link, which has indicated by this little dimple or indentation here on the clasp, and it allows you to adjust the bracelet 5 millimeters forward or backwards, such as on a hot summer day you need it to get a little bit too tight on your wrist. You can adjust that for a little more breathability on your wrist, whereas the vice versa, you can do it for colder days as well. The Sea-Dweller is made with divers in mind, of course. I'm going to mention that again. We have the glide lock extension link system, so you can see these little riveted edges right here, and that helps the bracelet extend 2 millimeters each increment for up to a total of 20 millimeters. So with divers in mind, if they put on a wetsuit, it has a little extra thickness on the wrist, they can adjust, divers can just go ahead and adjust that very quickly, very easily, to be able to adjust for the additional thickness on the wrist. So very nice feature to have. So let's go ahead and talk about the movements of these watches. So these are two very different movements because they're two different functions. So the Gmt-Master II does have an updated movement of the 3285 movement, which is an in-house made movement by Rolex, and the Sea-Dweller 43 has the I believe the 3235 movement, which is updated from the 3135 movement, but they basically both have the same updates to them. So they both are perpetual mechanical self-winding movements. Just the GMT has the GMT functions with the additional GMT hand, the quick hour jump system, whereas the Sea-Dweller has the instantaneous changing in the date for its movements properties. But besides that, they both have the blue paracomb hairspring, and the newest update to the Rolex movements, which is the chronology escapement and the Paraflex shock absorbers. So the industry standard shock absorbers is the KIF shock absorbers, which the previous models for the GMT and the Sea-Dweller ran, but now they've updated with their own in-house shock absorbers called the Paraflex shock absorbers, which absorbs 50% more shocks, as Rolex has stated, for their watches. Not only that, they updated with the chronology escapement wheel. So the chronology escapement is an in-house made escapement wheel by Rolex, made out of a nickel phosphorus and skeletonized as well. The skeletonization helps with the reduction of inertia and helps with energy efficiency, while the nickel phosphorus pairs nicely with the paramagnetic blue paracomb hairspring and a reduction of resistance, rather the reduction of against magnetism on the watch. And they both have an updated power reserve from a previous 48 hours to a now 70-hour power reserve, meaning this watches can be put down on a Friday evening, pick back up on a Sunday afternoon, or rather Monday afternoon, it'll be keeping time just fine. So different style of movements, different caliber numbers, but pretty much the same updates in regards for both. So both are very reliable movements. So now let me actually show you these watches on my wrist now. So if you have just, you know, your average man size wrist, 7-inch wrist, something like my wrist, you'll see that the GMT fits very nicely. It looks very nice on the wrist. That Pepsi bezel looks absolutely gorgeous. That uniqueness of the Jubilee bracelet on a sports piece, it just really helps the watch stand out and doesn't sit too high off the wrist, and looks actually very well proportioned in general. Whereas the Sea-Dweller, if you're a larger guy, you're really looking for something, you love wearing the Sea-Dweller, you're not looking for something as big as the Deep Sea, but something in between, but you still want to be flashy about it, this is your answer. The Sea-Dweller in the two-tone yellow gold helps the pop very nicely. The glinted name, the the fashioning of the 18 karat yellow gold on that black background, and just all throughout, just nicely placed, just helps the watch stand out much more while still being a very nice sporty piece. But the Gmt-Master II is unique in its own sense that, you know, if you didn't get one back in 1955, well, you have your chance in 2019 now. You have the uniqueness of the vintage style look with the modern updates, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you are interested in this models or any other models for the lowest possible price, check out our website at jazztime.com. We have the lowest prices guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty. If you like the videos, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on show more to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.